What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild on Madden 22, and it's a fantasy-style rebuild of the Detroit Lions, a team that I was debating on using for franchise and ultimately did not use. Mainly, I'll be honest with you, for the fact that Jared Goff is now their quarterback, and we obviously used him for many seasons in our Rams league, which don't tell me why, but of course, the Lions, as many teams, do have their their positives, but boy, do they also have their negatives. O-line is an okay part, especially in franchise, where Sewell is a superstar, where in real life, we don't know, because he had a very rough preseason, obviously. They got Brockers, is not a bad move either. Their edge, we don't talk about around here. And then cornerback has taken a very big dive since Slay was gotten rid of. And safety, they haven't had a good one since, like, prime Glover Quinn, probably, I think, right? And the saddest part is, I don't even think we're going to be able to, do anything about Goff. We have to just keep him on the roster, probably be the starter until the draft, and then hopefully there's a solid-looking quarterback in the draft. We also definitely need to grab a wide receiver. This is the most intriguing part of this team, is the fact that you need so many different wide receivers that you can really build on anyone. Swift is obviously going to be the guy for the future for us, even though in Sim last year he was awful, and then Hawkins is obviously the starter there as well. So once again, like we said, there are a lot of positions that are filled by players that we don't need to worry about, but also even more positions that need to be filled. And this could be the toughest team to actually rebuild realistically. Not that they don't have their assets, especially with the Stafford trade. It was actually a very good trade for, I wouldn't even say both sides, because Stafford still is a little bit of a question mark, but the Lions definitely didn't lose the trade. I can't tell if they want it or the Rams want it. It really comes down to how well, once again, Stafford plays. And we make the play, 35-67, and Tyrell Crosby for Chris Godwin. I tried to make a trade for some of the other guys that are going to be free agents upcoming, but none of them were just as easy as that. That was just so easy compared to what his talent is, which is obviously very high, and he's super young. We will have to pay him, which is unfortunate, but definitely will be worth every penny. And ironically enough, we probably could steal more from the Buccaneers, since they obviously did just lose their number one wide receiver. Well, number two wide receiver, I suppose. Are we making the Detroit Buccaneers? Maybe we are. I am surprised. Is he still superstar? Either way, we trade Williams, Perriman, and a third round this year, which is basically a late second, for Josh Allen, the pass rusher, who is definitely worth every penny. Can we even get rid of Trey Flowers? Probably not, right? We're going to be stuck with this guy. I do like fantasy rebuilds, but I will say we maybe should have started with a realistic one for the Lions and then did one, but, here we are. And oh, no, we can't. Damn, why are they paying these guys so much? Are they that desperate? This is some desperation I've never seen before. This is some Green Bay being forced to trade for Randall Cobb business. And I will say, it's not even that bad of a trade. It actually was a pretty good one overall. Not a bad move, but the desperation levels, though. They just got everybody on a fresh deal, don't they? Everybody is getting paid around here. You come to Detroit as an average level player, and you get a long-term contract that makes you a top 10 player all time. Well, that's a win. We'll take Maddox any day of the week, which now gives us another decent piece that's young. Man, this team is disgustingly bad. Like, at least on paper, it is so gross. I don't like it. I just don't like what I'm looking at here. Is McNeil at least hidden? Oh, I don't like it. I hate it all. This is just the worst thing I could have ever seen in my life. Like, everyone's got a guarantee. Everyone. And they're not even that good, half of them. I think Jonah Jackson is star, thankfully, but yikes. Lots of work to do, even in a fantasy. I don't know why Jeremy Chin is so easy to get, but Marlowe, Mike Ford, and pick 99 next year for Chin. Fortune. I can tell you your fortune. Maybe better if you leave a like and subscribe. I'm not going to guarantee it. I'm just saying maybe. There's no guarantees. So for the year one roster, we have Chris Godwin as the number one wide receiver. No change to the offensive line. Jared Goff is still the starter here. Well, I wouldn't say still the starter, but will be the starter. We did say, I kind of said still because we did have the option to trade him. Even with that penalty, could have added someone new. We got a new free safety, a new number 2 corner, and a new left outside linebacker with massive amounts of potential. The team obviously still has a ton of things to work on, but some of the positions look all right, like free safety, maybe cornerback 1 and 2, or technically cornerback 1 and 3, because Maddox is more of a number 3 than a number 2. Allen for sure, and then Flowers, I would not say so. Linebackers need to be fixed, strong safety, whole interior of the line, assuming this is a 3-4. Right guard, other than that, though, we might actually be fine on the O-line, and then maybe wide receiver 2-3 and quarterback 1. So a lot of things, but not as much as we obviously started with. Not really sure who the players to negotiate would be around here. Well, Maddox we just got, unfortunately, but we definitely afford him a 2-year deal very fast. Yeah, I'd be willing to do a 4-year deal. Even as a number 3, that's easily worth it. Deshaun Hand, a guy once upon a time I would love to trade for in rebuild specifically, but now, yeah, I feel like that potential may be gone, at least here in Madden. And, oh my, there's a lot of backups. I think we will also pay Jack Fox, the punter. Pretty solid. You know, you're pretty much going to be paying about $3 million no matter what the punter is, unless it's a rookie, and all the rookie punters suck. Tyrell Williams, nah, sorry. Nickel Roby-Coleman, nah, I'm sorry. And, yeah, everyone else needs to be replaced, but that's fine. Zane Gonzalez, it's a little past halfway through the season, so if he's okay, yeah, I mean, real life he was kind of trash last year, it appears, but 6 for 6. Do we give him another year? Why not? Right? He's good kick power, decent accuracy, decently young. 2-year deal. Why not? All right, head to the playoffs. I can't wait to see who we get to play in the first round. Obviously not. Oh, no. I will not be talking to any GMs about anything. I prefer not to be fired, but in case you thought I would have forced loss just for a better pick, which is not a bad idea, I can admit. You know, there you go. Admit, pick. Okay, it didn't really rhyme. I was about to say, I'm kind of going off. With the lyrical geniusness. I don't know. Jared Goff, not bad. Rushing, awful. DeAndre Swift just sucks in Madden. Godwin, really good. Tyrell, actually surprisingly good. Hawkinson, not bad. Cephas, not bad. Sorry, Tyrell. Even if you got to Superstar, which you didn't, you know, I wouldn't keep you. The tackles were awful. They combined for 30 allowed sacks. Chin, Tavai, and Akuda with 100-plus tackles each. And Josh Allen, 9 sacks, not bad. Traylon Flowers, almost called him Lance, 6 sacks, not bad. Brockers, 3. You know, the interior was just awful. Chin with 4 picks. Really good season for Chin. Obviously, an up-and-coming star that they just would not trade, especially for what we gave them. But it's a fantasy, so I can do what I want. MVP of the league was Mr. Watson. I know I didn't show it there, but yeah, any award wins at all? No, we did not. This season was an absolute waste. It was, other than actually, you know, oh, we got to fill some staff. We might actually do this as well. Other than actually making the trades, really not worth it. Offense is fine. Defense, I think, you know what? 3-4, though. A 3-4. We'll give him another year. We'll give him another one. We'll give him one more. Why not? Saints versus Broncos in the Super Bowl, and the Broncos win. Interesting. Wow, Williams doesn't even go to star. That is super harsh. No dev-ups on offense. Defensively, maybe Allen could have went to X Factor. Didn't, obviously. And then Chin, superstar. So only 1 full dev-up. It's a nice. I mean, it's a good player, but I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, right? Like it's nice to see, but it doesn't really affect that much. Overall, this was just, like I said, a waste of a season. It just comes down to not, you know, blowing the draft pick, really. Once again, though, we do have... Wait a minute. I didn't even think about it. Where the hell was the Godwin contract? Ah! Right on time, young man. We're just going to give him a 5-year 100, which I think is even low for him, but whatever. 102, glad to stay. Obviously, you know, we would have to make out some sort of deal with him, because otherwise that's just BS. And, I mean, everyone else seems to be on their way out. The real question is, can we get rid of anyone that we previously couldn't? Goff is basically a clean Band-Aid rip. Oh, see ya later, Jamie. No shot. Someone watching is named Jamie. They're like, excuse me? I'm not leaving just yet. Hopefully you're not. Romeo Quara. I mean, okay, so not really what I was looking for, but something, I suppose. Nick Williams. Who even is that? Oh, my. Well, let's look at some negotiations, see if there's... nope, not negotiations. I wanted to go to free agency. We did not do that, though. We failed that. I really hope there's a quarterback. It said something about rank 1, right? Quarterback? How is quarterback not our number 1 need? You have Jared Goff as your quarterback. Our pass defense yards per game were 3. That's got to be some sort of random lucky stat. I don't know how, but somehow, right? And Braden Conrad, the Heisman winner. I mean, doesn't get much easier than that, does it? Although, he's not the number 1 on the list. Also, early first. Yeah, you got to go Braden Conrad. Are we really? Is it going to really be that easy? We're just going to get an X Factor? Is it really just going to be that easy? Number 1 overall. We could get risky. There are a lot of quarterbacks, but can you pass up on the Heisman? Like, you have 3 first-round caliber solid quarterbacks. But, man, if Conrad doesn't have the best dev, it is a sell to not trade down. Going from 1 to even 2, especially if it's a quarterback team need, you can maybe even argue a whole first round, you know? Or, like, their second-round pick for that season. Like, I mean, that's nuts. J.C. Jackson, a man that we see a lot of, except for on our own roster, because he never accepts. I'm just going to let him be. I mean, there's just no point in even trying to get my hopes up. So we got Ronnie Harrison, and he will actually be a starter. They still need another safety, though, because I just don't want to deal with what we have. We also get Dante Hightower on a 2-year 13, I believe, and then Linval on a 1-year 4, which obviously are some nice veteran pieces. And we also get William Golston, which is like the first time he's not been a Buccaneer, basically, to be a defensive lineman as well. We have needs there. Maybe went a little bit too hard at that spot, but it only cost us like $3 million for him as well. And with pick number 1 overall, I think you gotta take the guy, right? He's the Heisman winner. Looks really solid. Early first talent grade. We're gonna risk it all. The thing is, there are a lot of quarterbacks here, and you can make an argument for a trade up. But you know what? We're just gonna take the guy that seems to be the most guaranteed. Braden Conrad, welcome to the team. And I mean, sure, number 2 in true talent. It says we reached, but he's hidden. He's a 77 overall. He's got some speed, and you already know we're gonna say Andrew Luck clone. I mean, it kind of had to be, right? Like, he's 78 injury on top of it. And then with this pick, there is a really nice-looking wide receiver here, Mike Kidd. I mean, there's a lot of really nice-looking players. Obviously, Sean Derby on top of it. But I think with the fact that we have no second, third, fourth-round picks, we probably should just trade this down and, kind of extend the draft a little bit. Wait, is that the guy we wanted? Dion Bowie? It's Mike Kidd. Not even close. Okay. It'd be nice to get to 32 and add a second-round pick. So this is 2022, and the Buccaneers are making it tough on me not to give that up, but I once again don't think that's fair. I think that's a little too high. The Ravens maybe. So I will actually hit the pause because, yeah, the Buccaneers are willing to give us way too much for this. Like, that's just a lot. Even if the Buccaneers are guaranteed 32 next year, that's a lot, It doesn't really help us this year, I will admit, but still, that is something. So, of course, the calculator is kind of projecting that to be this year. It's not that far off, actually. It's saying that we would gain 300 points, but if you factor in that that's all future, I don't know. I got to find a calculator for it, but I would say that's about 100 points different to 300, so probably about 200-point bonus. We'll see if we can make a different play, though. We're actually going to take the Ravens trade because it's actually really close, and it's all this year. It's saying that it's 69 in favor of us, which I suppose if you're making a trade up, you don't want it to be dead even anyways, right? Like, we're trading back for potential. They're trading back for, well, I mean, potential, but guaranteed potential, right? So, they're getting their player right then and there. They're getting who they want, whereas we're trading back with a risk. So we should be gaining extra, right? It shouldn't just be a fair trade just based on value. And look at this guy. Is he good? He's all right. He's like a Najee Harris type, I suppose. Mike Kidd's here at 26. We added that second-round pick. The question is, do we need him that much? Yes, but we could also land one of these other guys. Nah, we're going to take Mike Kidd. Mike Kidd to add with the wide receiver. okay. I mean, sure. Once again, we've said in the past, if you get a quick dev up, it doesn't matter as much, but yikes. Normal dev, I did not expect him to suck. And he doesn't suck, but you know what I mean. He's not what we expected. I definitely thought hidden, right? So there are a couple of potential, like, late second, early third players, but I think overall we have what we need for that spot. So, you know, if we lose some of the guys, it's fine. I'm okay with it. Kelvin Carson. I mean, you can't blame me, right? Like, this guy looks okay, but best case scenario, you're getting a guy that's like 90 speed, 91 speed at the best, at 6 foot tall, which is good, but it's not special. Nah, I regret it, especially since we know that the guys we did get were, you know, the guy we got was normal. But Justin McNeil, late third. I think we could probably move this to like the early third. Maybe like pick 5. Because I do want that player, obviously. So we got this trade for 67 and 99, which I think is a massive win. Pick 3 in the 3rd round, and that safety is really good, so I'm going to take him. And he is there, thankfully. Justin McNeil, I mean, if he's bad, I'd be shocked. Okay, I mean, he's good, but once you get another normal dev player, kind of reminds me of like a... Nah, it doesn't remind me of anyone. It just reminds you of a player that doesn't have any damn hidden development trade. This is a risk, because we could be, you know, a bottom 5, bottom 10 team again, but we're going to trade our 2nd round next year for their 3rd round this year. The Buccaneers being that them. Probably should have asked for like a 4th as well, but it's fine. It is what it is. As long as the player is good. And ironically enough, we're putting a lot of risk into it, right? A late 3rd player, late 2nd talent grade. We need cornerback for the future. He's young, very athletic. Please be good. That is a sell. I knew it was going to be, but I was just hoping for hidden. I really was just hoping for hidden. Work him up. Yikes. Like, Aruaria, he's just too old. He's like 26. He's only a 76 overall normal. That's an L, though. That is a force and a half. I should not have forced it. I mean, not even just that, but I probably could have just traded my 4ths this year for that pick. But, you know, here we are. We need a turnaround. We need something good to happen here. Like, here's the thing. This guy's a mid-second, and that's, like, the bottom right is always the telling thing. But this guy actually has power move. So it comes down to who actually has hidden. It's another guess. I don't know, dude. I don't like it. I hate everything. I'm just hoping that quarterback's a god. If he's an X Factor, I'm happy. But even if he's an X Factor, I still think this draft was kind of an L. And we're going to take Philadelphia's trade, which is a huge L as well. 14 picks back to gain a 7th round pick, which, I mean, sure, thanks. And do we take another safety? Why not? Timmy Crosby, wow. We have taken L after L in this one. Can we take anyone? Anyone that isn't an L. I will say, outside of quarterback, which quarterback was loaded. Wasn't that good of a draft in general, but yeah, I mean, I still would have liked it to be a little bit better. Late 6, I suppose we still are going to be taking that guy. Late 6. Do we have a 5th round pick? We do. I'm going to try to trade this for a next year pick. Anyone offering a 3rd? Anyone offering a 4th that isn't going to be very good? Do we bet on the Giants? I'm going to bet on the Giants. Straight up isn't great, but I suppose if you expect the Giants to even be like 10 picks before us and you have no one there, it's not that bad, right? Like, we're not going to bet on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. At least I hope no one is, right? Randy got us. Whatever. Show us another bad pick. 70 overall normal. I'm just going to stop drafting now. This has not been a good year. I also forgot that this is a fantasy style. I could have just traded anything for it, but yeah, I'll remember that next time, probably. And LaMichael Harris, why not? 65 overall. It's getting worse. I didn't think it could get any worse. This is hands down the worst draft I've had in Madden 22 so far, and maybe the worst, like, I will have. I can't imagine having a worse one than this. We had 2 first-round picks. Alan Halen, watch being the best player on the freaking draft class. 68 overall normal. He is very good. A little slow, but we didn't add anything for next year either. Like, we added a 4th round pick, lost a 2nd. Nice. And I suppose the Falcons are the team I'll bet on, even though they're kind of good in sim sometimes. All right, the moment of truth. That's literally not what I look. Okay. So obviously Conrad, who is literally the same overall as Jared Goff, will be the starter. Let's take a look at what we landed. What number is he actually? I didn't even look. 10, that's fine. And thankfully, because the draft is still an L, but we at least did well at the one position that matters the most. No hit-ins anywhere else. Like, yeah, he's an X Factor, so it's technically not an L, because, you know, that's, once again, the toughest position, but considering that was the first pick of the draft and everything else fell down after, I don't know. Dugan, stronger, more accurate, but slower. So, obviously, especially with our guy being an X Factor and younger, I would choose our guy, but this guy's not bad either. And, yeah, superstar to the Vikings, the division rivals. Chris Gordon, interesting way to spell Chris, about the same as our guy. Question is the dev, I'd imagine, star, and he is a star. Was there any? I thought there was a couple more. Jake Schaffer, the Eagles landing a guy, kind of in between of some of the guys we've seen so far. Very good quarterback draft class so far, and he is a star as well. So we obviously landed the best quarterback. The guy we were debating was the second best. I was about to say the Titans sold, but they actually did pretty well. They got themselves like a weaker armed Mariota, but he's obviously way younger. Eric Bowe, was this the guy we were looking at? No, this is the guy that I kept mistaken. I was like, is that the guy? One pick before us. I would not have taken him anyways, to be honest, because he was 23 and I didn't even have him on my list. But yeah, I don't remember any names specifically. I do remember this guy was on my list. It was just an L. Let's just ignore that draft outside of the quarterback. Let's forget that anyone was taken besides our quarterback, Conrad, which is an interesting name. Don't tell me it's going to be Jared Goff mentoring Conrad. Okay, it's EA servers mentoring my crazy tendencies. I don't know. My insanity, I suppose, is the way. I'm Tom Brady. Oh, now I'm back. Jesus. For a second there, I was Tom Brady. I was happy for a moment. I know, it's Godwin. Immediate impact. Obviously long-term in... why does his head look so big compared to his body? Am I losing, or is that, like, actually what it looks like? His head looked huge. So Jared Goff is still tradable, right? No, let's not set him as a captain. But looking at his last season, not terrible, right? Not terrible. But, you know, just saying. You can't tell me Washington isn't trading, if they can afford him, a second-round pick for him. Unless they drafted some, well, they, like I said, oh, they definitely would. They definitely would. The thing is, once again, I don't know if there's a team that can actually afford him. Although I will say, the money shouldn't be that crazy, right? Like, it should only be, what, 10 mil to pay him here? So we made the trade. We got 35. Schweitzer was just a cap casualty. And Phillips, I don't mind bringing him back. Bruh, why did I forget that it was a fantasy? I forgot we had Chin. We don't need all these damn safeties. Dude, I will say that McNeil, even though he didn't turn out to be the greatest pick in the world, was actually a pretty good-looking prospect. He is also usable at corner. Like, he's better than some of the guys we had. Like, if I put him at corner right now, what would his, like, overall be? He goes from a 74 to a 73. I mean, I don't hate it, right? Like, he's not super strong for hit power and all that. I think he might fit the bill anyways. So I think we're going to move one of these guys over to safety. Put him at as a backup, I guess. Might even save some money if we wanted to re-sign him. All right, so now that I remember that it's a fantasy-style rebuild, we can get back on track, hopefully after this season. But maybe Mike Kidd will be a surprise. I don't know, but Swift last year was awful in the game. So far, hasn't been super great for Sim. O-line, definitely need to replace the right guard, maybe the left guard as well. Defensively, if we can get rid of Flowers and Aquara, we'll have so much more money to work with. D-line is made up of literal free agents. All three, well, Brockers technically was a trade, but Linval and Golston, free agents. And ironically enough, all three will become free agents. Okuda's the number one, Maddox number two, McNeil, maybe the future number two, who knows? Chin the superstar, and then the newly added Ronnie Harrison at strong safety. No shot. There is no shot that is actually going to be the result. You're wondering why the hell I'm showing you Josh Allen's numbers. He actually is about to be an X Factor. What? Wait. Maybe I just read it wrong. I thought it said something like he was really disappointed with himself. No, I thought I saw the word disappointed. Maybe he was like, I'm disappointed. No, we won. I don't know. Either way, we got it. We are 100% done with... oh, we should have re-signed him before. Of course, we're going to give him the long-term deal. Ooh, we are broke, though. We can afford him, but we are broke. There's no denying that. But we are done with DeAndre Swift after this season. I ran the Dallas playbook. I ran the Titans for a couple of weeks. I ran the Panthers. We ended up still halfway through the season with 3.6 yards per carry. I think it's just his body build. I think it's because he's a smaller guy. It doesn't work out in Madden Sim, and that's all I can say. TJ Hawkinson's one of the league's best at this point, so not that that's really super hard. It's like there's 3 or 4 really good guys, and the rest are kind of like, okay. So him being at an 88 overall is, makes him one of the best already, just based off of, what's that word? I don't remember. And if you like that intelligent speaking and wording, maybe leave a like and subscribe. Maybe you didn't hear it enough earlier in the beginning. Ooh, can I challenge Mike Kidd here? Oh, he is Mike Kidd. Who the hell am I challenging then? For inspiring teammate, 150 yards. He's only normal, though. Isn't that harsh? Damn, come on, Godwin. Not a bad game by Mike Kidd, but damn, I was hoping maybe he ran the ball. He didn't. All right, if we beat the Jets, I'd say there's a good chance we're in, and we did, and we are in. However, we had to face Tampa, so I don't feel super great about that. I will say that second-round pick that we traded off, not as bad. Okay, it was still a really bad trade in the end, but not as bad, I suppose. And let's see how the players played. Did we get Rookie of the Year? I can't tell. That's a lot of touchdowns. The game value is at the most. I would say we did. I can't guarantee that, though. Once again, Swift, he's just not the guy. He's not bad. And in a user league, or just usering him, it'd be kind of fun, but he's just not it. Godwin, X Factor most likely. Kid, if he doesn't go to star, that's harsh, right? Like, he deserves to go to star. He would have actually been 1 yard off anyways. Josh Allen, who already is an X Factor, 13.5. Trey Flowers, 7.5. At least he's playing up to that contract. William Golston gets to play against his former team here as well. 7 sacks, not bad. Picks, Ronnie with 5. Aruarie with the backup wide receiver, free safety position with 5. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good, actually. That's impressive. Zane Gonzalez, yeah, it might be time for a new kicker. There's a lot of, new things we need to add, but kicker apparently is now one of them. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Conrad. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I don't even know who we had. McNeil. Where was our quarterback in general? He was on the list. Number 8, that's not bad. And number 1 wide receiver, Chris Godwin, gets to play against his former team. And Ronnie Harrison joins us and becomes the best safety in the league, or at least in the NFC. I mean, that's impressive. I'll take it. Of course, we are only an 83 overall to the 85 overall Buccaneers, 86 overall Buccaneers. So I don't have a lot of faith, but yeah, it looks like one of my old Niners thumbnails. Back when we used to use them. All right, going to the end of the game, and we are, not giving up a bunch of points to Tampa is in a way winning, whether you win or lose, right? 7-3. Okay, well, I guess we're just losing now. 14-6. Yeah, this is kind of what I expected to happen. The worst part is it's a fantasy style, so, we should debatably almost be ready to go next season, like win it all next season. In the fantasy styles, we used to get them done in like 3, at most 4. I don't see that happening here, right? Unless you make some massive trades, especially with our lesser draft picks and the fact that we made the playoffs, giving us a lower overall first round. I don't see it, right? Running backs were just awful both sides. We can still trade Swift off, but I feel like we need to trade into a team that likes receiving backs. Not that I would say Swift is like the greatest receiving back in the world, but I just feel like those style, like the teams that like receiving backs, like style backs, do like the smaller backs in general. The winner of the Super Bowl is the Steelers over the Cowboys, two Super Bowl powerhouses, I suppose. Let's take a look at the lineup. And Godwin, I believe he was only superstar, right? And now he's an X Factor. Okay, ankle breaker. I'd say more like a grab and smash or double me, I suppose. Where's the possession one? Max security. It sucks, but that makes the most sense. Second wind. Slot him at it, and then second wind. Why would anyone care about second wind? Of course, he's the number 1 wide receiver around here, so. Yeah, I feel like when EA chooses a lot of these abilities, they kind of compare the player to their counterpart on their actual team, which makes sense, right? Like, Chris Godwin's not technically the number 1 over there, but if he was the number 1 playing as like a 90 overall on the Lions, I would say they would give him something like wide receiver apprentice or something a little bit more number 1 wide receiver-esque, right? Rather than just like, oh, here's some side abilities. We don't want him to be better Mike Evans in the game. DevOps, Dante Hightower, which once again was a 2-year 13. Not feeling too bad about it now. Superstar Dev, able to play another season for a fact. And now we have another superstar safety, Ronnie Harrison, which I believe was like a 4-year 20 or something. It was a really good contract for us. That's all I can tell you. And yeah, okay, so the team's not looking bad, but it's not looking very good. You know, we got to fill the D-line. We have Swift that we need to trade off. It really comes down to who's in free agency. Hopefully, finally, a running back, right? Like, we've normally ignored that position in pretty much every rebuild, realistic or not, in free agency. This is the one time I'm actually kind of hoping for one. Also, for the other moment of truth, please tell me we can get rid of some players. Trey Decker, but I won't. So we could trade off Trey and Aquara to a team that is super needy. I mean, we can save some money. We could definitely save some money, and I think we have to. Trey Flowers didn't actually play that poorly, but we have got to get these guys out of here. Like, we're broke as hell for a team with no talent, and we just cannot live on this way. Can I not trade anyone? Yeah, we're not even there yet. We trade Flowers and Aquara to the Bills for 44, who have absolutely no edge rush. I'll show you their edge rush right now. Epinesa, who's debatably an interior guy. Ed Oliver, who's, once again, interior guy. Gregory Rousseau, anyways, not looking good as a 72 overall. I think he even has normal Matt Milano's coverage, so we'll have to put them at left and right end for them. But, yeah, definitely not a great trade for them. But, once again, this is a fantasy. We got to remember that. And even if it wasn't a fantasy, I'm not going to go around saying that it was a great trade for them, and it's a trade I would definitely do. But pass rushers are super coveted, and Trey Flowers showed that he still has some in the tank. We have more money. We have 38 mil. We have our very own Tyreek Hill, and even if we didn't, not paying that. Kareem Hunt, the OG. Have not had a chance to sign him yet this Madden. I don't think there's going to be a better time than right now. Ironically enough, not super far off of, Swift's height and all that, but definitely more talented. He's a dual-style back. And, yeah, he's a very good player, obviously, and worth every penny, assuming he signs. He has no other offers, so if he doesn't, that's a bit telling that he doesn't want to come here, right? I don't think there's much arguing it. Ooh, Matthew Ioannidis. Some of the classics. Max Crosby's in there. He is not a bad player, but I don't think... He's a little faster than I thought, actually. I was about to say, I don't think he fits our scheme, but the price is not bad. I know the Patriots are trying to change that fact, but even for 13.4, I'd be willing. Like, we do need an edge now. We could use Julian Aquara. I think Romeo's the one we trade and Julian's the one we have, right? I don't know. There's too many Aquaras. I mean, okay. And damn, the Panthers are not messing around here. How much are they offering? Is it like a 3 or 39? It's more? Well, I mean, hey, congratulations on your newly acquired player, I guess. Sue is still in the league. You got to be kidding me. Well, it's safe to say we need DT. We need a lot of players. Man, we are regressing. I'm going to see if we can offer Za'Darius like a 3 or 35 or something. It is a fantasy, once again, that I just keep forgetting. So, realistically, it doesn't matter, right? It's just, realism isn't what matters here. It's all about if we can get the player or not. Devin Bush, the speed, but we don't want him. We don't want him. We don't like him. We don't like that guy. What? We could always draft running back as well. It's not the hardest position to draft. We have pick 10 and 21. We have 12 and 22. Okay, our draft picks are a lot better than I thought. The Rams did way worse than expected, and I like it. Oh yeah, let's grab another one. Oh man, that guy actually looks really good, but I mean, DeAndre Swift didn't work, so why would I grab a guy that's literally just like him? If you need to go like power back, that guy looks sick. Yeah, I think that guy's good enough. There's a couple options here. Obviously, those first-round guys look insane too, but I mean, when you can get talent like that later on anyways, you might as well wait. We also need wide receiver again. These Detroit Lions have not done so well with wide receiver lately. And speaking of not doing well with wide receiver lately, this draft class for wide receiver is bad. I mean, just receiver in general. I mean, how many of those running backs are going to be converted to wide receiver with how lack of talent there is? Yeah, I've decided we're going to kill it this draft. I've decided. I'm sorry. If you were hoping for a bad draft again, you have looked for the wrong guy. We're just going to crush it this draft. And if we don't, it's going to be really sad. For the 40 billionth time, I can never get Greedy Williams. Like, Max Crosby is a super surprise to me. But Greedy Williams, they're like, no. But of course, for Swift, I've got to think fantasy. Forget the realism. I don't care. As long as it's a team that, is green interest, I'm taking what I can get. And I will say, the Broncos got Javonte. I do want to find a team that could use him, though. Because I want to see if, anyone at all can get DeAndre Swift to do well. The Jets, they're not a team that I would expect to do well with him. There's no way they give us a first round for him, right? I want a first-round pick. I actually think the Texans aren't that bad. We might have been able to get more for him, but that's basically a first-round pick. Maybe I should have tried to put, the third on as well, but okay. Holy crap. A 4.4540. That is quite the time, young fella. Do we actually want to stay in a 3-4 either? Our defense has been really bad. I don't know, man. I'm once again regretting the decision of Max Crosby. It wasn't a big contract, and you can always use backups, obviously, but it does kind of suck that, there's a couple of pass rushers, nothing crazy, but some good players worth taking. And I might get over my fear of 23-year-olds. I mean, he's not the greatest I've ever seen, but he's definitely draftable. Very good. So we are now officially in the draft with pick number 10. I really do not want to trade up, but that DT does look really good. As far as DTs go, the best, case scenario, we have these two. McCarthy just looks so much better, though, and I would suspect he would be hidden, whereas the other guy I cannot guarantee, and I just don't know, man, because mid-first could be anything, right? He could literally go pick 6. So, I mean, where do you make the call? If he's a lot of quarterbacks, thankfully. Still going to lose our guy. It doesn't really matter, but come on, 2 more picks. There's no way. Yeah, there he goes to the Jets, unfortunately. We do have other picks, obviously, but there is by far no bigger need on this team than defensive line. It's bad. I actually think we should move to a 4-3. I think it fits better. There's better coverage linebackers here. I think we're going to move to a 4-3, which does save us on DTs as well, technically. There is this guy, too, though. Damian Samuel. He's a late first talent grade, but his strength is really low. We made the argument in the past for some players, but that's just way too low. This guy, I mean, we have Max Crosby. He's really good. I just don't think we need him. It's really down also to who you think has hidden. Maybe Esparza has it, but I would probably bet on Bart Ivory more. I don't know why. It's just his size, I think. I think we're going to move down to 16 and just start whacking away at players. We're going to go down to the Browns, who gave us a very good pick at 19. And they go with Archibald, who is very good. I think that was the 5'9 corner. Esparza goes to the Bills, so forget that whole trading for all those players thing, I guess. And once again, I did want to get to 16, so I think we may. I want Zay Hazelwood for a fact. I want Tim Barnett for a fact. And maybe Dre Green. All right, so we trade 19, a 4th, and a 7th next year to the Eagles for 16. We trade 21, Vaitai, and Cephas to the Bengals for 17. And then with these picks, we shall select Bus. Hopefully not. Please be good. Zay Hazelwood, cornerback of the future, looks beastly. 6'2". He's going to be normal, unfortunately. 74 overall normal, but, I mean, look at how beastly he is. Probably more of a safety type. Maybe should have just taken the guy up top, but we did add that second-round pick on top of it. And then this guy, who I guarantee is going to be a monster, Tim Barnett. Welcome to the squad. 75 overall hidden. Expected to say normal, just like usual. Very good player, new DT number 1. Straight to the top he goes. I really do want to grab Bart Ivory. I know he's going to be good. I just know he is. But I can't. I can't do it. Then we have 4 second-round picks. Give me a shot of that. I want it all. We trade 44 this, a third next, and Crosby, who's not even Crosby, for the Panthers' 26th pick, which will be a wide receiver who could already be number 2. I know he's not really the, I mean, I guess he's about the same size as the other guys, but he's not really a number 2 type, but not really much you can do. We need this pick. 77 overall hidden. I'm going to put it out there right now that he is obviously the number 2 already. He is literally just as good as the guy we just got, but younger, and, of course, a chance at Rookie of the Year. And then with pick 1 in the second round, we need DT so much that we're just going to take the other guy by, just needing him, and there's no one else around. So Corey Ayers, this is going to be a sell, but we're going to take him, and he is a 74 overall hidden. Once again, I would assume star dev, but it's a win. It's a win. I did, kind of was like, oh, jokingly, we're going to crush this draft. I don't know if I agree with us crushing it. We're going to need at least a couple of superstars out of the guys we drafted that were hidden. Because if not, it's like, yeah, they're good, but it could be better. And we don't need running back anymore, but I still kind of want to land one. Just because the backup actually does kind of get involved in Madden 22 quite a bit. And even though we don't need safety, there's got to be something we can do with someone. So Matthew Burgess is the choice. 76 overall hidden. It's all about taking best available, and he obviously looked really good, especially with that talent grade. I think that'll probably start him and move Chin over to linebacker, honestly, because once again, we do need linebacker quite a bit. It's all starting to come together. What can I tell you? Not that much, to be fair. We're still not ready, I don't think, but it's looking okay. Ooh, New England just slightly beats out Washington. We're gonna get some picks for next year. It's totally worth it. I will see you in another lifetime, Tevin Callaway. You look insane. You look really insane. You look so freaking insane. We can't. We have Hunt for at least 2 more years, maybe 3. I know it's a 4-year deal, so it's really awkward to say it like that, but it's true. We must just move on. I do kind of want to see where he goes, though. Be interested. Pick 6 going to be a little awkward because I think a lot of the players we wanted are going to be gone, but we can still reach for some of the later players, and that was my ankle snapping in half. Nick Edison is still there, though. He's not nearly as good, but he still is pretty good. It's all consolation at this rate, but, I'm still willing to do it. 6'5"? Guy is very good, actually. Running back is a dime a dozen. Wide receiver, especially 6'5", that's fast, is not. And he's a hidden dev! Okay, so the Lions went from not very good wide receiver group to absolutely loaded. And that's the way you want a rebuild to go. Nice. Once again, he probably is only star dev, but it's not bad. We're going to move down to the Niners again, a 7th round pick, which is like 5 picks back. And I think we're going to reach for a linebacker. Even with Chin moving to linebacker, we do need a lot, especially since we're moving to a 4-3. Kind of want both. A late 6. We're going to take James Ruggs and then the other guy as well. 70 overall normal. He's pretty good. He's pretty good for a late pick. We hit Denver with the confusion. We gave them 2 picks this year and a next year 6th, all while not giving them all the value they deserve. Which, of course, will lead to the linebacker, who I did think was the better of the 2, but obviously a guy that was a little bit later. So Frank Hobbs, 69 overall normal, and I can't really tell. I don't remember the catching of the other guy, but very similar, probably a little bit worse, unless the catching was similar. Then this guy's better because that hit power was significantly higher, if I can't recall incorrectly. I don't know. I want to say that 6'5" guy will start, but he just won't. I just don't see it happening. So we'll take a look at all the devs with the intention that the guy that we took first for wide receiver is going to be the new number 2, Noah Mahoney. 91 kick power, 66 accuracy, no hidden special teamers yet. And yes, I consider a fullback technically a special teamer because that's probably where the majority of fullbacks play now in the league. But let's take a look at some of the guys we missed, but also the guys we drafted. Unfortunately, I know D-line, especially, now it's not, but D-line was the biggest need, but I would have loved Hazelwood to be hidden. Unfortunately, he wasn't. Tim Barnett and Ayers are the new number 1 and 2 at DTs. A little bit lower on the overall side, but hidden. Could be better than normal. Well, by normal, I meant star. Only star. And then Ayers, I really do want to see how that McCarthy guy looked. We would have lost a lot of the hit-ins we did land, but still would have been worth every penny if he's good. And star for him as well, number 90. Interesting. Dre Green, number 4. I cannot allow this. I'm sorry. I don't even care if you're like a superstar or an X Factor. I can't do it. I just cannot allow you to do these things. Number 88, 87, 83, 82, 81, 80. All right, he's number 4. Those numbers are worse. Actually, let's take a look at his dev. Only stars. So a lot of stars. And I believe... No, we did have that big, tall wide receiver. Burgess, the free safety. Could be a hidden dev. Like, you know, I mean, he is hidden, but you know what I mean. Damn it. Star as well. I mean, I will take it. Number 24. Number 24 is pretty elite. Number 21, you want your guy to be good. That's the number you put him on as a DB. And then Mr. Jaden Mason. Could you imagine this is the guy that's like higher than star? Because he's like the one guy I expect not to start. And of course he's superstar. Oh, man. Well, even if it's a fantasy, it still would be a little bit too I guess bad morale-ic. I don't even know, but I don't. We're not going to do it. Pat Clifford. There's some really good 4 straight quarterbacks beating the real NFL out on this one. And didn't the Titans just draft a guy? The Titans literally just drafted a quarterback. I know he was normal, but he was pretty damn good. Where is the guy? He went way high. Paul McCarthy. Interesting name. Hidden development trait. Obviously a very good player, but if he isn't at least superstar or X Factor, we kind of dodge a bullet, right? I mean, it's a major bullet dodged. And, ooh, that's not very good. I am glad they took him before us. Hell yes. Archibald, I believe, was the 5'9" guy hidden. See, you could be 5'9" all you want, but if he's as good as it seems he is, then yeah, that's a bit of an L, and I will want to regret this. Okay, only star. Only star guy is better. Take a look at some of the other guys we did pass up on. Damian Samuel was the DT type-esque guy, but I knew the strength was going to be low, so I said no, and I mean, even that is lower than I expected, which is kind of crazy to think, because that's a low. That's tough to beat. Dion Ross, not good. Ivory, this is the guy I thought was going to be really good. Normal, with only swim move. I'm glad we passed. Thank you. Here's Fant, one of the faster guys. Another normal dev. Where was there was a guy that ran like a 4.45. He's got to be like near 90 speed, right? Here it is, I bet. Jose Esparza. Really good player. Super fast. Let's take a look at what that dev is. If it's superstar or better, I'm going to be pretty sad. But I suppose we got Max Crosby. And only stars. I mean, the draft was good, but there was no like bona fide thugs. And unfortunately, we will come out with no superstars outside of our wide receiver, which, you know, he won't even play year 1 anyways. He might even play year 2. He might just be wasted by us. You figure if our new number 2 wide receiver ends up becoming superstar, then he would be a number 3, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because he's the size of a number 2. I don't know. Size of a number 2. That's poop. We had to do it. We needed another lineman. McNeil, Onwu Zariki, and a 4th round next year for Deion Dawkins. Whoever's the most athletic is going to be the new right guard. And our O-line will actually be halfway decent for once. So we made, those moves which are not bad, but one of the biggest moves that we need to make is getting a new kicker. We released Trash Can McGee already. Tyler Bass is a free agent. I want the accuracy of a Young Ho Koo, but 29 years old, a little bit older than I would have expected. Whatever, I'll take him. Young Ho Koo. Is Lambo a superstar? Ooh, superstar, though. Nah, Young Ho Koo can actually be re-signed and all that. Only $2 million. Okay, I think we also need a punter. Why not grab Gillen? Or Gillen. Normally these types of players aren't even there, so I'm glad to see him. So we have the roster for year 3. Can't lie, I'm a little disappointed that we haven't been a little quicker, but I suppose the O-line's getting there. We have Dawkins at right guard now. We have kept a decent bit of the starting Lions players. Of course, Kareem Hunt is the new player here. Definitely want to get his dev up as quickly as possible to try and preserve him. Maybe even a this season upgrade for dev would be sick. Kid drops down to number 3, which is kind of harsh, but it just makes sense for Green to be number 2. He's just as good, if not better, and he's younger, technically. And then looking at linebacker, we have to change to a 4-3. I think it works out, though. Chin, very high overall. Hightower we'll have to replace. Hobbs, maybe he has a really good rookie year. Everything looks okay. I wouldn't say pretty good, but okay. And screw it, we're going for it all. 52 this, Maddox in a first round next year for Byron Murphy, who we also may have to pay this season. But you cannot deny, cornerback was looking very desperate. We're basically back in the real life, like last season Darius Slay situation, and I don't mind it. You know, it's not bad. It's all right. We may have sold. Dre Green is now superstar. We may have sold, or maybe we have not sold. And let me tell you, season has not gone well. A lot of close games, but also yikes on this defense. Receiving, and we did sell. I don't even see the guy. Where is he? Nice. There's free XP for him on accident. I didn't remember who it was, so I just clicked it. Oh well. Re-sign time, and some contracts are looking expensive. Jeremy Chin wants a lot of money, but it's fine. Okay, it's fine. He can stay. Okuda wants a lot of money, and it's fine. He can stay as well, especially at that price. That's a bargain. Jonah Jackson wants to stay, and obviously at that price, he can have a 4-year deal. Hell, I'll give him a 5-year deal. He can play backup if he has to in the future. That is really good money for us. And everyone else can leave. Oh, actually, no, they can't, because Young Ho Koo is still here. Also, I grabbed Jamie Gillen because it didn't show we had a punter, but obviously we still have Fox, so, I mean, he's just been a waste of money. And then Young Ho Koo, once I can sign him, I probably will. So, surprisingly enough, we, as an 88 overall team, only go 7-10. I will show you guys the games, I suppose. Wish we would have just continued losing. We ended up winning a bunch of games at the end. But, I mean, look at that. Like, that's just awful. Turned it around in the second half of the season, but obviously just not quick enough. Take a look at the stats and the awards. Our quarterback, Conrad, was, I think, the third yards passing leader, third most passing leader yardage guy. Kareem Hunt, way better yards per carry, just didn't get that many carry attempts. 11 touchdowns, not bad. Dre Green could go to superstar legitimately. Godwin, very good season. Mike Kidd was okay. Hawkinson was decent. O-line, not super great. 3 guys with 100-plus tackles. Sack totals 11 for Josh Allen. 7.5 for Ayers. 6.5 for Barnett. And then Crosby, 5.5. Not bad. 5 picks for Okuda. 3 for Murphy. Okuda could actually go to superstar. Young Ho Koo, it just doesn't matter. The kickers just suck in Detroit. Man, they're just doomed. Any award wins, though. Rookie of the Year for our wide receiver. Rookie of the Year for our safety. Got some award wins. Not bad at all. Our Rookie of the Year guy was also number 3 for wide receiver, which is impressive. And another season where it just, I don't know. It just seems like, we're not doing as well as we should. Ravens versus Panthers in the Super Bowl. The winner of this one is the Panthers. 88 overall still. Didn't lose anybody to age or anything, so, it doesn't make any sense for us to actually go down anyways. But we now have 3 superstar plus wide receivers. Dre Green, believe it or not, is only like the same overall as our other guy, Mike Kidd. So this is very strange, but I suppose it's always a good thing to have a bunch of wide receivers. We can actually trade Mike Kidd off for something. Mike Kidd, by the way it said, yep, Mike Kidd. I'm going to sell my kid. And then defensively, Byron Murphy, I believe, was only star when we traded for him, and he is now superstar. So that's a massive W, even though Okuda probably should have been the guy to go up in dev if anyone was going to. Also, Burgess is superstar. Absolutely good season for DevOps, just not if you wanted to see a Super Bowl, birth or run. Dante Hightower, not bad for his age. He's still going strong, but I think it's time to get a new linebacker. So we're going to get rid of Hightower. Hobbs didn't work out, so we need a new linebacker, 2 of them. Defense, though, outside of those linebackers, should be fine. And then offensively, maybe upgrade the O-line. Other than that, though, I mean, I think we're doing well, and we just need a little bit of luck next time. So here is what we're looking at for free agents. We have a lot of money, and there does not appear to be a lot of options. Taylor Lewan's a cool option, but is he worth it? 3 years older than Decker. The price would probably be around the same. 3 overall is higher, and probably not worth it. Ruggs is cool and all, but probably not worth it. Patrick Queen is a little too expensive. I didn't think we would pay Kenneth Murray, but I think we might. I think we kind of have to. Kenneth Murray is like by far the best. The thing is, look at the freaking Patriots, dude. Always overpaying people. Free agency is their thing lately, and they're just blowing it. How much are they offering him? Are they offering him like 20 per? Oh, get out of here. I ain't paying no 20 per. You can suck my ass. No way, dude. That's expensive. Is there any young players in here? I doubt it, right? Like Patrick Queen, but that price is so expensive. 83 overall. I mean, that's a lot of money. And even you have to pay him more, too. Jeez, man. Linebackers are not the easiest things to come by. Which, in my opinion, is Willie. Yep. Is it time to move another safety over to linebacker? We obviously have the king of it, Ronnie Harrison. Unfortunately, there's no safeties here worth, like, signing. Man, this is a very pathetic free agency class. Sucks. I bet this wasn't too high, but from what I've seen in free agency, I don't think it is. Pick 8 overall for 91 overall Devin White. I want a damn middle linebacker that's good. You can't ask for much better than a 26-year-old 91 overall. I don't think there's anyone even close to as good as that in the game. Also, look at Wirfs being a 99 overall. Absolutely nuts. So they have pick 8 and 11. They were one off of that date. Damn, I tried to get Quentin Nelson off him. Not even close. Oh my, that is a harsh reality. I thought maybe we could have pulled it off, and not even close, dude. What about Braden? I want to test it out before I give up the second. But, like, I want the best possible, and the tackle position is kind of getting a little bad around here. The desperation levels have exceeded critical capacity. A second and a third round pick and kid to the Chiefs for Brown. And, yeah, that means we have no first round next year, no first, second, or third this year, but we might still have some sort of trade value. We're getting wild out here, but this is the core of fantasy-style rebuilds. I miss doing all this nonsense. I miss getting absolutely wild, getting all sassy and such. We could get a first-round pick here, though. I just don't think we're going to be able to get it all in one trade. I mean, that's not actually a bad trade for them either. Can we get a first and a second? I mean, those are not bad players. I want it all, and I want it now. Damn, we can't even get a first straight up. Okay. Well, it's good to know. So those first-round picks, we probably could have got more than Devin White. Pick 8 is very high, but then again, Devin White is worth a freaking even pick 1 at this rate. That kind of speed? Well, I mean, in a rebuild. Maybe not in-game. Like, he's very good in-game, obviously, but linebacker's not super, super hard to develop. We still have Melifonwu. How? What kind of contract has he been on? Like a 10-year? It's going to have this guy for the rest of his career. We're so close. I suppose we can drop another draft pick on him. Why not? No 4th next year either. Love it. A 5th ain't going to do it. I want to give him a 3rd, though. 5th this year, maybe? You already know we're going down the line if we get this trade. What about Jermer Jefferson? Come on, make the trade, damn it. I mean, our free safety's pretty good. Justin McNeil. So we trade Gaddis and a 5th next year for 73 from the Broncos. And if that isn't enough, I quit. So we got the trade officially done. Maybe we should have done a 3rd next year. I actually think this is, even though it's a fantasy style, I think it's actually a very good trade. Left tackle, that's pretty solid. He's at least a top 25 in the league. And, I mean, they do have to pay him, but top 25 in the league, and they'll have him for at least another 4 years. That safety could literally be there for another decade, and they are getting a 3rd-round pick on top of it. Now, with this pick, though, we need this to do a lot. So, unless there's some glaring need that I can't think of off the top of my head, I imagine we're going to be using that pick to just trade down and add picks for this year and, eventually next year. But yeah, looking at the O-line, we have Orlando Brown at left tackle, who's a god. We have Sewell at the right tackle. We're going to go broke, by the way. Thankfully, I think Orlando Brown would have been paid by the Chiefs. Normally, he's a free agent. They found a way to do it. I don't know how, but they did. And let's actually take a look. Oh, no. Did they tag him? Oh, no. We have to pay him and Sewell, I think, this year. Oh, no. That's okay. We don't have to pay Conrad for ages, so I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, we have the best O-line in football. We have maybe not the best receiving group, but one of the top 5s, I would say, maybe top 10. Linebackers may have the top 5 just because of speed. But yeah, if there's a good linebacker, we need to grab him. If there's a sick pass rusher, we need to try and grab him. But this team is probably good enough now to make a trip to the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl. I will say, you look at this trade back, I mean, it's very close, right? And usually the AI gives you, they make you pay more for a trade that they accepted. I've proved it in the past where, was it actually this rebuild or maybe it was last rebuild where, we were getting, it must have been last rebuild, we were getting an offer, maybe not, I don't know, but we were getting an offer for something where we had to give them extra when they were willing to give us way more before if we would have just accepted it. But obviously we didn't accept it because it wasn't realistic. It might have been this one, and I forgot that it was a fantasy style. I can't remember. But this is going to be kind of fun because we're going to be looking at all gems mainly and only unless there's just a can't-miss god. We're not taking any risks like we did earlier. If it's a can't-miss god, we have to take him. Outside of that, though, this guy looks like a can't-miss god, but he's 23. It's a position not of need. He doesn't really fit the linebacker spot. I know we could probably move Ronnie, but I'm kind of getting sick of that move, from last year mainly. We got Eric Kendricks on a 2-year, $15 million deal. I don't think he's actually an 84 overall, unless he is, which is a W and a half if it is. But I think he's an 82. Maybe he is an 84. Oh, he is an 84. Oh, he's actually better than I expected. I just took him because we were desperate, even with Devin White. We now have the entire roster set. At this point, we would be drafting to, trade down for next year or maybe land someone that we don't think is going to be here that much longer. So we moved on to 31 to add a second next year from the Ravens. Not a bad trade at all. I think we probably do need O-line, and this guy looks sick. But do I take him? Also, our tackles there. His name is Dalton Mullins, who, his talent grade's not very good, but, look at the combine report. The top skills are there. I can't imagine he's bad. I think we can move down to, 6 and still get molds, and even if we don't, it's fine. We could just, keep trading away. We're actually going to take this trade from the Rams. Should still be able to get that center, which if we do, is a pretty clutch trade down. We added a 4th, a 2nd next year, and a 5th. I can't remember. Maybe it was a 6th. I don't know. Dalton Mullins is still there. Same with the freaking center. They're both very good. I'm going to trade down again, maybe 2 picks or something. The Browns wanted the pick before. Maybe they still do. They do. They'll give us a 5th. I'll do that. Could trade up with a 6th to the Texans if we need to. And they do take Mullins. I'm trading to the Texans. 6th-round pick, which is still a win if that's the case, if they actually accept it. I wanted the other guy more anyways. I know that guy looked good, but it's all about the bottom right, unfortunately. That's why I can't wait for this freaking scouting update to come out, so it's not as easy. And there you go. So it's a win. You add a 5th. You lose a 6th. You still get your player. We're maneuvering. We're finally doing well in the draft. Although, who is Andy Grant? He looks all right. Also, there's a really sick tight end. We just don't need him, though. Hawkinson's good enough. And I suppose Ahmed Molds is our pick, and he is a 77 overall hidden. I'm not really shocked by that. Once again, it's sucky because that's the way it is. I'm hoping this update comes out before our Raiders franchise finishes the regular season, which I think it will, because I do not want to draft before that. I've seen a lot of drafts, and it almost ruins people's series. The way I look at it, I don't want to purposefully draft badly either, so I don't really know how else you do it other than waiting. I don't want to land 6 once-in-a-lifetime generational talents in one draft year, which, it seems very easy to do that very often. We trade a 4th, 5th, and Jefferson for pick 65 from the Dolphins, which we would be taking an outside linebacker with. Don't actually know if he's a pass rusher or not, or if he's a coverage. It says he's coverage, and I would lean towards that. Yeah, he has to be 5'11". No way he's not. And we're going to take him. 74 overall hit, and once again, the bottom right is just so telling. It makes me sad. But like I said, power move and block shed. I mean, he's tiny, but like, I'd rather play him as a pass rusher than a coverage guy with like no, well, I know he's not supposed to be coverage, but a run stopper with no coverage. I like to drop him back every once in a while, right? We trade 5, 6, and Harris for 97 from the Dolphins. This time we're going to be taking a tight end. He looks pretty good. He's an, wasn't it a first-round grade? Tight end's a little bit misleading with this, but mid-first round looks like a good player. Jerry Daniels, 75 overall normal. That's a sneaky little steal. Not that you can really do much with him here for us, but yeah, not bad. We'll say a little bit slower than I would have expected as well. We trade 6 next year and Hobbs for a pick 130 from the Jets because these late trade-ups have actually went pretty well for us so far, and I think it's going to go well again with the selection of the running back we have on our list, Anthony Hill. Let's hope for the best, and we land a 70 overall normal, 6 foot tall, 220 running back. Similar to Swift, no catching ability at all, but has better trucking and stiff arm. He's a pretty good player, actually. So we did draft a few hit-ins. Didn't really actually need any starters. These guys are all players of the future. Very good player here with Molds. I mean, he turned out to be a very high overall, and his development is only star, but you can't really ask for too much off of that. I suppose left guard would be the most, I mean, other than money reasons, would be the first position to be replaced. Jimmy Cruz could still play edge, even though he's, short. But we'll see what we're looking at for a potential Kendricks replacement in the future. Star Dev, not bad. And then that was it, right? Actually, we only had 2. All right, what is it? Season 4 now? I can't even keep up. But obviously, we have a very good roster. Dre Green, the deep route monster himself. We have a player for every freaking thing, pretty much. You got a speed upgrade recently enough. Mid-out, whatever about the other thing. Kareem Hunt did not go up in dev, but he didn't also get that many touches. Very good yards per carry, like 0.8 better than, almost a yard per carry better than Swift on pretty much the same exact yardage. O-line sick, tight end solid. Defensively, Devin White is only a star, but he could get to superstar this year. Just in 1 year, obviously. Do we have to pay him? I do not know. I would assume not. Ronnie Harrison, Burge. I mean, it's a good team. We really, going forward, would just have to replace Crosby since we have Cruz. Either you replace the right outside linebacker or left end, depends on where you want to put Cruz. It's a good team. We should make the playoffs. Maybe we can even make the Super Bowl. We'll do 5 seasons minimum, unless, of course, we win it this year. So we have some re-signing. Sewell, not actually asking for that much. I don't know if it's because he's right tackle or not, but, I mean, under 100 mil for a 94 overall superstar is pretty good. I actually haven't seen... Actually, we'll wait till the end of this rebuild, if I remember, to look at how good he is. I mean, look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the price. Of course, we also got Chuba Hubbard from free agency. Deion Dawkins, that is a very good deal. I don't know how long these types of players last, though, so we're going to do a 2-year... 30-year-old star is kind of on the older side, so I'm gonna chill a little bit. And then Orlando Brown, it's a lot of money, but we paying him. Probably should have tagged him just like they did. Ravens just tag away. Actually, it was the Chiefs. Ravens traded him to the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs tagged him. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. This team missed the playoffs, and it's all because of their name. Because of the Detroit Lions. That's it. That's literally the only reason why. We're a 91 overall. I can't imagine any other team is even close to that. 88 overall so far, the highest. 90 for the Saints, but let's be honest, they're probably one of the top 3 teams in the league. The Vikings, 90 overall. So Saints, Vikings, Browns are all 90. The Chiefs aren't even a 90. We're the highest overall team in the league. We can't even make the playoffs. Come on, EA. Do better. Do better, please. The Vikings, 90 overall team, 12-5. Saints, 90 overall team, 12-5. The Browns, I think, were one of them, were they? Were the Browns one of them? 6-11. EA, please. And people say, it's any given Sunday. I mean, there's always good teams. There's teams that are good that don't do well. Yeah, but this isn't just good. This is like top 5 in the league, top 3 in the league, good. And you can't make the postseason? Who did we lose to? Let's see. Maybe we just had a tough schedule. I don't know. Maybe the schedule was tough. I don't know. Let's take a look. Fair enough. We lost. Should not lose. Obviously, we won. Should not lose. At this point, should win. 1. Niners, they're not that good. Vikings, we lost both games. Don't see it. Packers, no. Bears, no. Jets, sure. I don't know, dude. We did have a tough schedule, I will say, but it is what it is. One more season, screw it. And I changed this to the Chiefs playbook because we were just losing, and it clearly didn't help that much. I mean, the yards are good for Conrad, but overall, we didn't, make the postseason. Kareem Hunt, still good. Chris Godwin. That's the first time I've actually seen one of our players with 2,000 receiving yards. 2,046 receiving yards with 18 touchdowns. Oh, my. Share some with the rest, please. Thank you. As far as tackles go, we had 3 guys with over 100 sack totals. Josh Allen's been crushing it for us. Crosby, I suppose if he still wants a deal, I'll give him the deal. He's played okay. Ayers, not bad. Barnett, not bad. Picks, really bad. I mean, this is the best team in football, and we just missed again. The Lions are just doomed. It does not matter who you have. If you're the Lions, you just aren't going to do well. Conrad at number 8. Any wins at all? Obviously best wide receiver. That goes without saying. I would say that Helen is number 6. Okay. Would you believe it? A 90 and an 89 overall team in the Super Bowl? That's so strange. I thought it had been one of these 83 overall teams that deserve to be in it. Wow. It's almost like overall should matter. That's crazy. Of course, this is what the roster is looking like. 88 overall for Green, so, I mean, the team's solid. It's really good. Devin White joined the Superstar Dev Squad. He has Pick Artist and what? Pick Artist and Outmatched. Fair enough. And then Crosby also went up in depth as expected. Thank you. What did he actually get? Unfakeable. What an ability. Give me like extra credit or something. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's not that great, but he played well. He's played okay. I think he had like 7 sacks and I think 9.5 for us. So, I mean, he's worth it if we can still pay him. Re-signings. Max Crosby's contract definitely went up, but it's still not that bad. But I will say he's not going to accept it. No, he did. 2-year, 18 mil. It's 9-year per, which isn't bad, but yeah, we could have saved some money. May even still should have just waited. He's pretty good. Yeah, it is what it is. 84 overall, good enough. He's played out all right. It could always be worse, let me tell you. Aaron Donald, what a name drop. Joke. Look at that. 6-year, 124. And probably worth every penny. Stephon Gilmore. There's really only 2 players in here that actually make us good enough for one season, which is the final season anyways. I'll keep this around just in case we come back to it, even though I've always said it. It's very unlikely that we ever come back to one of these because there's just so many teams to rebuild, especially since we are going to be doing, multiple rebuilds. Like, we'll actually do a realistic rebuild for the Lions at some points. But Aaron Donald, it's a good move. Do we pay him? I'm going to pay him, actually. Our DTs they're okay. I think Ayers is a starter. I don't know about anyone else, though. And what do you know? The Patriots. These guys make me sick. I'm still going to do it, though. 25 mil for 1 year. Come on, let's see you beat that. Yeah, let's see you beat that, boy. We're actually broke, by the way. Like, we have cap room. We just don't have any actual funds. Owner's dipping into his own pocket at this rate. Ooh, Aaron Donald does accept. He's the new DT. He sees something in us. And I do as well, but EA clearly doesn't. So hopefully when we put him at DT, he's a god for us and we just dominate. So we're in the draft. I'm going to be honest, it's pretty much all linebackers, which we don't necessarily need, I suppose. So I think we're just going to trade down for next year's stuff. Once again, this is the final season, but in case we do come back, I want the most out of this. I just don't think any of the players we're going to draft, for one, we're not going to see them develop anyways, and two, they're actually needs. I just think we should just trade off, get our next year picks, I suppose, from Washington, maybe draft a player or two, but realistically, just like last season, I think our roster is good enough, and with Aaron Donald, it should be even better now, and if we don't make a run, that's just exposing EA more than anything. Ravens also give us the same one, second, third next year, and a sixth. And then in the third round, we'll just grab whoever the best available is. Like, this is what our draft class looks like realistically. Yeah, cool tight end, don't need him. Philip Deloach, could use him, he's okay, but I mean, there's just not a whole lot of talent here, unfortunately. Screw it, Jose Ash for Max Crosby in the future, 71 overall normal, just expected, you know, no one great. So we traded up for 2 high 4th-round picks to take John Young. Might as well take him. Screw it, 72 overall normal. Very, very usable. Kind of reminds me of like a Albert O-esque type. And then we'll be taking the running back that could actually become the starter of the future. He actually looks pretty decent. And obviously Kareem Hunt not going to be able to last as long soon. And yeah, I mean, he looks very good. We'll see if he's any decent. 72 overall, no hidden. Once again, another really good player. Super good all-around player, except for catch and blocking. But yeah, no hidden development trait players. I mean, even the first round didn't really look that good. The draft was a waste. We got Aaron Donald. It was basically a non-eventful offseason, but obviously Aaron Donald can change quite a bit for you. So hopefully he's the guy that can push us over the top. We're already, once again, we're good enough to make the Super Bowl, or the playoffs at least. We just didn't. But if we don't make the playoffs here, I don't know. It's just, we're going to have to deal with it. We're going to live with it. We can accept it. Just figure that you have to make a deal with the devil to win with these teams, apparently. All right, I think this is Season 5 now. The team you already know. We've, really haven't changed it much at all. And then Aaron Donald joins the front. It's a really good team. It's a team that deserves to make the playoffs. It's a team that will go 6-11. Now, this is where we may not be able to afford anyone. Well, I suppose we don't actually have to pay anyone. Like, Aaron Donald's a guy that you just let go, because I think he might just retire anyways at 35, maybe 36. But Conrad, a 7-year, nearly $300 million deal. And obviously you give him the 300. You make it look cute. 300 mil. Oh my God. That's awesome. But looking at Conrad, a very solid player, obviously. I mean, what can you ask for? You keep him. And you could actually afford Donald, sadly enough. But here we are, headed to the playoffs. Make the Super Bowl, make the playoffs. Don't make the playoffs, don't make the Super Bowl. This is the last year. And at the re-signing period, we were looking very good. Kept the Chiefs playbook on the entire time this time. And you could see we finished with a near perfect record. We did get that loss within the first half of the season. Let's see who that loss actually was to. And it was the Ravens. I should not have made a freaking Ravens Orlando Brown reference joke. Damn it. But still a really good season. Obviously, I want to see how Kareem Hunt played, because obviously we know that Conrad was very good. Obviously, finally over 1,000 yards. Yes. Could go to superstar with those touchdowns. Godwin, very good again. Hawkinson, better than last year. Green, good again. Mason, I mean, we're doing really well. Kareem Hunt had a really good season. 16-1, obviously, we're doing really well. Aaron Donald with the 19 sacks. Look at this. You can't tell me Aaron Donald didn't play a massive part in this, because he obviously did. Younghoe Koo played really well. He only missed one kick, and it was due to a block. Might not even have been his fault. MVP of the league. Down to number 7, man. It's just crazy to me that that's not better than that. Of course, we got Defensive Player of the Year. We got Best Wide Receiver, Best O-Line, Best Kicker. We got a bunch of bests for once. And if we lose the first week of our first playoff game here since we lost to the Buccaneers some years back, that, I'm going to be honest with you, would be kind of hilarious, but that would suck. 93 overall for us. They're an 89 overall. Come on, Detroit. Just win one. That's all just one. Just one. That's all I ask for. Just one. 7-3, good defense. 14-3. I mean, we are by far the best team in the league. We have the best tackles. We have, the overall just best line. We have the best, well, maybe not the best quarterback, but one of the best quarterbacks, one of the best receiving groups. Defense is solid, and all that means nothing as we're about to go to overtime against the Niners. Oh, no. Please. Detroit, don't. Okay. I mean, as long as we don't throw the ball into their hands. Or this. Is this a field goal? 4th and 5. Am I really going to choke this video? Am I really going to choke? No. Not what we're doing. Not what I meant to do at all. I apologize. Godwin, do I trust him, though? Yeah, it's too easy. It's too easy. Slant on the... It's too easy. And we win the game. Wow, they did it all on their own. Impressive. I forgot to look at the stats. Oh, well. Now the championship round, 84 overall, Dallas. They're only an 84, and they're going to win. This is good. 9 overall difference. The years of 15, 20 overalls higher than your opponent is pretty much gone. So, the AI's a lot smarter than they used to be. So, this is about as close to that as you're going to get. There's the Browns are the Super Bowl contenders for the AFC side. Come on. Don't lose to an 84 overall team. That's all I ask. Lose to the Browns, not this team. Detroit needs a Super Bowl. At least a visit, right? I mean, 21-14, 28-14. Defense is not really doing its job, but offense, thankfully, is giving up points left and right, but we are scoring them as well, and that will be a GG as Detroit will make the Super Bowl. That's all I wanted for this team. And Aaron Donald, man, he is doing some things. I don't even know if this was him doing it, but it is. You just know he will. Right? You don't even have to see it. You just know. It just happens. All right, just accept it. And here it is, the Browns. Let's take a look at if we had any dev-ups. I'm trying to think if there would have been any. Sorry about the... I don't care about the media day. In a realistic style, yeah, but not in this. Dev-ups, none for Kareem Hunt. Defensively, Chingo's doing X Factor, and I believe that was the only one. Okuda still at star. And him going down a star is it's a bit of a loss for him. We'll take a look at some of the overalls and how everyone turned out after this game. Win or lose, the final game potentially here. Up 6+ overalls on them. Let's get it. Going to the end of the game, Cleveland with the first points. Cleveland with the second points. We do get a touchdown finally, but offense definitely letting us down a little bit. Obviously, defense needs to stop them, but giving up short fields, not good. 24-21 now, 31-21, 31-24, 31 all. This is a very close game. Oh, no. Oh, yes, maybe. And we're just going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. It's the Super Bowl. I'm not going to do crossers. My brain went to crossers right away, but that's not what we're doing. Do you trust Godwin on the outside? I think you do. Pretty good route. Really good D, though. He's not going to go down. Get out of bounds. He's a god. How did he get out? There's no way. Actually, no way. And I don't trust this game. If we get in field goal range, I'm kicking the damn thing. I don't care. Get a block from Daniels. Godwin could go for it all. Uh-oh. Godwin. He's got some room. In for the score. He's too good. Chris Godwin with the touchdown. I thought it was short, honestly. I thought it was close. Let's take a look. Look at that frame rate. Nice. Nice and smooth. He must not have touched him in time. He didn't. That's what I thought. He had him, but he didn't. And that's a touchdown. Detroit is going to win a Super Bowl. Deserved. We got cucked all the way through this. And we finally get the coveted Super Bowl for Detroit. And all is well. It ended perfectly. Maybe not perfectly, but it ended pretty well. We built a pretty good squad throughout. And yeah, that's really all I can say. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Glad we didn't do this realistically, because if it took us 5 seasons in a fantasy style, even though I may have forgot a season or two, then that was a fantasy, then I don't want to see what a realistic style would have been like. But yeah, we'll definitely do one for them at some point in the future. Conrad with the MVP of the Super Bowl, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 4, 5, 6 for yards. Of course, next gen is so buggy for this. You could tell the Super Bowl celebration is last gen. I don't want to go to next gen just because it's next gen. it doesn't matter at all other than some of the cinematics. So the core gameplay is still pretty much the same, but the menus are less laggy, and I don't freeze every 5 seconds, which is sweet. But yeah, that's pretty much the rebuild. We will take a look at, some of the ratings for some of these guys that we did develop from the start. Obviously, Conrad we don't need to look at because he's, we've already seen him. But, Okuda, kind of see where some of these guys may have ended. If you're doing a freaking team of this for a franchise themselves, you can compare them, I suppose, or see maybe if you want to trade for some of these players yourself. Okuda really didn't seem to develop that well, didn't really seem to do super well in Sims, so I don't know if it's worth going for him, but I suppose he does start off as a pretty low overall, so getting to an 87 overall is not the worst thing in the world. But let's take a look at this lineup. Kareem Hunt's not really one of our players. Let's take a look at Sewell, who is officially a 99 overall after 5 seasons. Really good ratings. I mean, outside of run block power and pass block power, which doesn't really matter as much for him, he's near perfect. That's absolutely insane. What are the abilities? Screen Protector and Natural Talent. Ragnow. I suppose. What's his name? Is it just Ragnow? I always mess it up. Godwin, I suppose. He came to us as an 87 overall. We traded for him right out the gate. He looks pretty solid. What else do we have? Conrad. Once again, we just looked at him, but why not? What were his abilities in the end? Gambler, Sleight of Hand, Anchor. He doesn't even have any of these. Oh my. Can he actually get Escape Artist? He can. That's freaking clutch. Green the... Well, that's not the one I wanted. Green the Deep Route Specialist. Ended up being a 95 speed guy. Pretty damn fast. Medium route's okay. Deep route's obviously God tier. Got to have those different type of receivers on your team. TJ Hawkinson, who is now a 29-year-old. Did he regress? No, he doesn't, because tight ends don't regress in Madden anymore. Decent route running, specifically for medium. Okay speed. He's a pretty good player. Defensively, let's take a look at Okuda. Okuda with a 27-year age. Very good in man coverage. Solid press. Byron Murphy doesn't really matter. We traded for him as a pretty decent player. Josh Allen was pretty good too, but yeah, 99 finesse, clutching. And, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Like, some of these other guys didn't really, they weren't crazy, and, we've already had them before. But, yeah, that's going to be the fantasy-style rebuild of the Detroit Lions. If you guys enjoyed that one, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr, where I actually kind of want to do a stream, maybe a fantasy-style stream, for a rebuild in the future, anytime soon, perhaps. But we do Raiders franchise, we do some things. Probably going to get back to non-Madden soon, though. And that is pretty much it. If you have any suggestions for series ideas, anything to upgrade or improve or just change in existing series, let me know in the comment section below. What teams you want to see next for rebuilds, fantasy or realistic style. Blast on the past players. Like, I want to see Arian Foster. We might have done that already, but... any player like that, I suppose. Maybe a career simulation or a career resim. But any of that, just leave a comment. Say what up. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!